The final bell rang, but Jake Turner didn't move. While others rushed toward freedom, his mind drifted, somewhere far off, past the walls, past the city, toward an island no one believed existed. In his notebook, a map hand-drawn, scrawled notes, coordinates, and one sentence: "Find me before the island forgets." Jake, quietly to himself, "Hang on, Grandpa. I'm coming." At home, the storm began to brew, not outside, but within the Turner house. Jake's mom, Detective Sarah Turner, wasn't used to being challenged, especially not by her 20-year-old son armed with a journal and pure conviction. Jake says, "His notes match real coordinates, Mom. He didn't vanish. He was chasing something." Sarah says, "Jake, you know I want to believe, but this island, it's not on any map." Jake says, "Exactly." She stared at the boy, then at the journal. Something in her shifted. Sarah says, "We leave Friday, but Leo's coming. For backup." Leo says, "Backup? I thought this was a beach trip." 3 tickets, 1 destination that technically didn't exist. Jake, his mother, Sarah, and Leo, who was still trying to figure out if he could bring a toaster in his carry-on. Sarah says, "Remember, no one needs to know where we're really going." Jake, grinning, "That's easy. Even I don't know where we're really going." Somewhere over the ocean, clouds swallowed the light. Below them, the island waited, hidden, watching, forgotten. This wasn't just a flight. It was the first step into a world that shouldn't exist. The ocean stretched forever, blue, endless, silent. But then, it shifted. Jake says, "There, between the clouds, look." A jagged silhouette rose from the sea, not on any map, ringed with cliffs, crowned in mist, the island of the forgotten. Leo says, "Is that smoke, or a volcano having a bad day?" Sarah says, "We're landing. Keep your gear close and your eyes open." No one spoke as the helicopter descended, not even Leo, which, frankly, was concerning. They had arrived, and the island was waiting. Leo says, "Just to be clear, if we get chased by jungle beasts, I vote Jake runs first." Every step deeper felt like a step back in time. Massive roots curled over ancient paths. Trees loomed like guardians. The jungle wasn't just alive, it was aware. Jake, reading from his grandfather's journal, "Enter where the sunlight fades, follow the green that glows." Then they saw it. A tree, split down the middle, pulsing with green light from within its bark. Sarah says, "Something's moving ahead. Stay alert." It wasn't just animals. Symbols carved into stone, faces in the trees, whispers without voices. Leo, nudging glowing mushroom with a stick. "So, are we sure this isn't radioactive pizza toppings?" The jungle opened into a clearing, unnaturally circular, as if something had made it. In the center, half buried in vines, stood a stone pillar, carved with spirals, symbols, and something unmistakable, an emblem from Grandpa's journal. Jake, shocked. That's his mark, the one he used in all his notes. Sarah says, "Then he was here, and not alone." A hidden panel slid open, revealing an old compass, still ticking, still pointing somewhere. Jake whispers, "He left this for me." For the first time, they weren't just searching, they were following Grandpa's trail. When the compass appears, Leo says, Cool, magical treasure or ancient bug tracker? Place your bets. If this thing points to a snake pit, I'm retiring on the spot. The compass led them deeper, past the twisted vines and whispering stones, to the edge of a canyon. A narrow black bridge stretched across it, jagged, volcanic, ancient, carved from obsidian. Jake, peering over the edge. That's a 100-foot drop, and no guardrails. Sarah says, "Stay centered, don't stop, and don't look down." Leo says, "So you're saying don't panic and fall screaming into the void? Cool, 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 cool." Each step echoed. The bridge creaked like something that hadn't been touched in decades. Then, something moved beneath them. Jake, shouting, "Move, it's breaking!" The bridge shook violently. Sarah grabbed Jake. Leo screamed something about not having life insurance. They landed on the far side, breathless. The bridge collapsed behind them. Gone. After the jump, Sarah says, "Okay, next time we follow a compass, I vote we make sure it doesn't lead to death first." "Can't feel my legs, or my dignity," Leo shouted. Beyond the shattered bridge, the jungle changed. It wasn't just wild anymore. There were signs, cut vines, arranged stones, a tarp barely holding together above a makeshift fire pit. Sarah, alert. Someone's been here, recently. Jake says, "It's Grandpa's handwriting." The page was torn, smudged, but one line was clear. "Not alone. She helps. Island watches." Jake, quietly. "She?" Sarah. Whispers. Get low. Eyes open. But whoever had been here was already gone. Brief silhouette of a barefoot girl watching, then slipping away. Leo pulls something out of the abandoned camp. "Hey, they had canned beans and a pineapple. This place is basically a 3-star hotel." After stepping in something mysterious, that was either ancient mud or jungle poop. Either way, I'm burning this boot. This was someone's snack. They were just here. And now, they're gone. The shadows moved again, but this time, they didn't vanish. Jake followed, quiet, careful, through the trees. And then, there she was. A girl, his age, barefoot, wary but calm. Hair wild from the wind, eyes sharp as flint. Jake whispers, Who are you?" Girl, I could ask you the same. She smiles slightly. "You don't belong here." Narrator, she didn't run, she just turned and nodded for him to follow. Her name was Aria, and she'd been living on the island her whole life, and she knew his grandfather. Jake whispers, "You know him?" Aria, "Follow me. I'll take you to him." Peeking from bushes behind Jake, whisper yelling, "Ask if she has snacks. Jungle snacks." Steps on a branch and ruins the moment. "Oops. Sorry. Just spying, respectfully." Later. Wait. Did she say she knows Grandpa? Or is Grandpa in disguise? I'm not ruling anything out. Unthinkable. They followed Aria through a tunnel of vines, emerging into a sunlit glade. And there stood a figure they thought lost to time. Thomas Turner. Older, weathered by years on the island, but unmistakably him. He knelt and opened his arms. Thomas, voice trembling. Jake, Sarah, Leo, you came! Jake, Grandpa! Jake leapt forward, hugging the man who had filled his childhood with stories. Sarah's eyes glistened, and even Leo, though pretending to be unfazed, couldn't hide his grin. Arya, softly, "I'm glad you're home, Thomas." Thomas, smiling to Arya, "None of this would have been possible without you, my dear." In that moment, the jungle seemed to sigh with relief, its guardian reunited with his family. Leo, whisper to Jake, "Do you think Grandpa's got room for one more in that hug?" Asking for a friend. Leo, pulling away from hug, teasing Grandpa. "So, did you spend the last 20 years building a secret island empire? Or just really good at hide and seek?" Looking around at the clearing. "Hey, does this place have Wi-Fi? I might need to update my status. Just rescued Grandpa. No biggie." Captain Jeff, into radio low and urgent. "Control, this is Echo Lima 1. Repeat, this is Captain Jeff. We're stranded. No visual on extraction. Requesting immediate assistance. Do you copy?" A pause. Only static. He adjusts the dial. Captain Jeff, firmer. "Command, this is Captain Jeff requesting evac. Anyone, please respond." The only reply is crackling static. Jeff lowers the radio slowly, scanning the distant tree line behind him. Shadows creep across the island. He exhales, jaw clenched, weary but alert. Captain Jeff, quietly to himself, "We're on our own." He glances up at the canopy, then back to the jungle path. After the reunion, Thomas led them to an overgrown path, one few had seen. They emerged before a massive stone door, etched with swirling glyphs and guarded by two towering statues. Thomas, solemn, "This is the Temple of the Pulse, the island's heart." Arya translated the ancient script. The door spoke of life, of balance, and of a power that bound the island together. Sarah, awed. "If this place controls the island, it's more than legend." Inside, bioluminescent pools reflected glyph-covered walls. In the center, a pulsating crystal hovered above a dais, its light sinking like a heartbeat. Jake whispers, "It's alive." But Rhodes's mercenaries were closer than they knew, watching from the shadows. Leo, quietly, gripping his gadget. Does the island come with an exit sign?" Leo, "Great. A door that opens to a glowing alien spa. This trip's getting expensive." Just as awe settled over them, a crack of gunfire shattered the silence. Mercenaries led by Rhodes burst in. They aimed their weapons at the family and their island guide. Rhodes, smug, "Thanks for opening the door. Now step aside." Sarah raised her weapon, training and instinct taking over. Jake seized the crystal's pedestal for cover. Leo fumbled with a flashbang gadget, praying it would work. Sarah, commanding, "Get them out of here, Jake." Jake, to Arya, urgently, "Take Grandpa and run, now!" Smoke filled the chamber. Leo's device exploded in a burst of light and noise. The family scattered through the shadows, separated by chaos. Rhodes, roaring, "Find that crystal, and you'll control everything." As they fled, the temple doors groaned shut behind them, sealing their fate deeper within the island's heart.